Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here. We got a big show lined up, a special guest here. I want to thank my buddy, my country cousin, Billy Grantham up there in Sneeds, coming down and covering for me. I got some feedback on him, but it's interesting. I'm going to tell you tomorrow on tomorrow's show what some feedback on Billy, so you be sure to tune in tomorrow. Okay, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. It's at corner of Baldwin and 77. It's high of 94, low 75, and water temperature it's gone down a degree or two. It's 84.7. That's pretty cool compared to what we've had. That's the lowest we've had in about a month. The river reading is brought to us by Mountain Dew. Take it outside with Mountain Dew. We're looking at the Apalachicola Blountstown, a 0.9. Let me just repeat that because you don't get this reading very often. 0.9, the Apalachicola Blountstown. The Choctawhatchee Carabelle, 0.3. And I've been across both of those rivers recently, and it's amazing. And I've got the pictures of the Pea River up in Alabama. There's nothing but just some puddles right now. So it's amazing how low the rivers are and the creeks are. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good tide today. High tide is 8:09 this morning. Good high tide, and then dropping out to 5:49 this afternoon. Marine forecast, not bad. There's a little bit of a breeze coming out of the west at about 5 to 6, so we can live with that. But we're just heat. We got to do something about this heat. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our guest. Okay, welcome back, and we're here today, Officer Travis Bashford with FWC, and man, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, Travis, so glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
And you've had a busy month?
Yes, sir, as always.
All right. We got a lot to talk about. We're getting into the fall season. Summer has wound down. Officially, we're in fall. I know the weather don't feel like it, but with a lot of changes going on. We've got changes in the laws and added things to it, so I'm going to let you just get started on it.
Sure, absolutely, and I'll go ahead and excuse myself. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold right now, so my voice probably sounds a little different, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. Definitely the transition has begun. Hunting season's starting to come in, and it's an exciting time of year. Yeah. So anyways, so we can start talking about, we got a little bit of fishing stuff that we need to really touch on, and then what I'd really like to do is at least for one segment in this show, is go over the new deer harvest reporting system. I was talking with Coach here on the break, and it's a big change. It's a very big change for deer hunters in the state of Florida, and we want to try to have as much education and outreach on the issues and on the new requirements as we can, because it's a big change, and there's a lot of different things to talk about. So anyways, we'll do a good overview on that, and then again, before bow season comes in October, we can really dive into it. So big thing going on right now, as far as on the saltwater side though, is red snapper. Mm-hmm. Had a lot of people asking questions about, because we had some poor weather. Usually, June and July we have great weather. I mean, it's just slick out there for seems like weeks at a time. But we had some rough weather, and we had a lot of people express concern on if we didn't meet the quota, which you're always talking about the animal catch limit, would there be a fall season? And got a few things that I just want to relay out to the public here as far as a possible red snapper season in the fall. And basically, FWC has said that we could open for a fall harvest.
We all got fingers crossed, okay?
Yeah, and yeah, me too. I'd love to go back out there, and I think I went snapper fishing like one time. Yeah. But anyways, so we don't have the landings yet to see if they've met that quota. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this with triggerfish, amberjack, snapper, a lot of our reef fish. What they want to do is they have to see if we've met the quota of poundage, the annual catch limit, and if we have, then no, there would not be a season. If there's an overage, which we talked about in years past, then they could subtract that from the 2020 season, which we don't want. So they said this should be available mid-fall.
Okay.
And from what I'm hearing, October, which is right around the corner.
Okay.
Okay. And then once they have that information, then they would announce, if it has not met the quota and we're under it, then they would announce season dates ASAP. And if it was announced, it would be weekends during the fall, which we've seen that before with weather and stuff like that. So possible fall season. We'll hear more in October, and then as soon as they get it, they're going to try to get the dates out as soon as they can for, charters if they want to plan stuff, and then just private recreational anglers if they want to plan some weekends to go fishing and around football games and hunting season and all that stuff. So anyways, that's the news on it. As soon as I hear it, if I'm not on the show, I'll get the information out here to Coach so he can share that stuff with y'all. So that's exciting, and hopefully we'll get a little bit, because talking with a lot of people, I've talked with a lot of people about the deer stuff, and then also with the snapper, they said, look, we didn't go near as much as we normally would go because of the weather, and then that would be less fish brought in. So.
That's an interesting point, because that happened to a lot of different parties that sort of had to slow down. They got out there. A lot of people went out there and it's just too rough to stay and came back in.
Right.
So there wasn't that many. That was good.
Yep, you're right. People could only go on the weekends, and they get out there and it's too rough, and they got to come back in. So, anyways, good news on that. Also, we just had early wood duck and teal season come in.
Yeah.
Had some teal, definitely teal come down to Lake Seminole. Had some come to Deer Point Lake here in Bay County, and they had a good opening day. And then, as usual, the local birds kind of get wise, and we saw plenty of teal and wood duck. Worked Deer Point opening day. It was a good turnout. So
was it a good turnout on opening day?
It was.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's
it was.
Great.
People out there excited to go and get started duck hunting. So one thing to remember on that, we're already through the teal and wood duck. That was the 21st through the 25th. And then the teal only will be the September 26th through September 29th. So it'll be teal only from here on out.
Let me mention this while we're on ducks and all the wood ducks. And I have a good friend of mine, Kurt Davis. He's one of our loyal viewers. He lives up on Deer Point Lake.
Okay.
And we talked the other day, he brought up a good point, and I had not thought about this. Out of all the things the hurricane did, we keep finding things it did. One of the things it did was blew down some of those wood duck boxes out there,
Sure did.
Out front of his house. And we were talking, that'd be a great idea for you duck hunters to sort of get organized and just have some work days where y'all rebuild those wood duck boxes, and I'll try to help you if I can. They're not hard to build, or get some students or classes or something, rebuild them, and let's put them back out there. If it happened to Deer Point, it happened to other places too. So that's interesting, and I'm glad you brought that up, Kurt.
Yep, absolutely, and yeah, do it yourself, and then our biologists do that stuff too, and it just helps with the breeding.
Yeah, y'all put a little tag on yours, on FWC tag on. I believe they said.
I'm not sure. I'll have to check with the
yeah.
biologist on that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of places that got laid down, and they've been doing a lot of clearing up there on the lake. You're taking those barges into the canals and getting the debris out still, which is great. I know they're doing it close to where I live, so. Good news there. And then we have this weekend coming up. We've got first phase of dove season.
Yes.
Going to be exciting. If you got some millet or some peanuts or something you can get over, it's going to be good. It's going to be hot and dry, but hopefully got some birds in there. I know we've been kind of monitoring ours up there on our place up in Jackson County. And as always, we go over the baiting. You cannot bait for migratory birds, especially dove. We've went over the different things people use: bird seed, rock salt, millet, wheat, all these different things that you put out that isn't natural. That area is not part of normal ag process. Okay, so you can't have a peanut fill and then go put corn on it to sweeten it up. One thing that was brought up, I've been talking to some stakeholders about, is the 10-day rule, and that's in there. If you do have some kind of bait, what's considered bait, or other feed out there, it has to be gone for 10 days before you can legally hunt over it. Okay, so that's been around for a long time, and I just want to talk about that 10-day rule. If you had something out there that was illegal and was inspected, it has to be gone for 10 days before you can hunt migratory birds over.
Okay, that's important. Let's take our break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Here with our officer, and he has so much information. We appreciate Travis coming on. I got one quick picture on tomorrow's show. I got a lot of pictures. I get caught up with pictures tomorrow, but I do have to show one because he's watching this morning. Got all his buddies. This is not local. This is my cousin Curtis Locke from over there in Chattahoochee, and his sweet wife Pam, and they went down to Alvarado. They do it once a year. This is one of their vacation trips. They go with a couple of their best friends, Duffy and Susie, out of East Point, and they had a great trip down there, Alvarado. But Curtis sent this message to me. He said the reason he caught so many fish because he had on his Panhandle Outdoors cap down in the Florida Keys, and that's why they caught so many fish. So
Representing down there.
representing down there. Thank you, Cousin Curtis. All right. All right, let's go. We got a lot more stuff too, so let's roll.
Yeah, yes we do, and yeah, just to let everyone know, we're going to try to do the best we can, educating and getting this information out there. But we could talk an hour on this new harvesting reporting system, the new season bag limit for deer. So what we're going to try to do is in this segment is try to do an overview of some of the new rules, go over some of this stuff, and then next time before bow season gets in, we can go in depth, talking about particulars, because there just isn't enough time. It's a lot of information. So just touching on the new deer harvest reporting system, you've been hearing a lot about it.
I have. I've got a lot of feedback on it, and to be honest with you, in general, a lot of people don't quite grasp it, and it's just something new and something different. So we got to work on it and just try to get an understanding of it.
Right, and it's a lot of stuff to soak in, especially because Florida has been the way it's been for so long with not having to report your deer and just being able to kill two bucks a day every day, for the whole year. So we talked about how many that would be. So starting off, the season bag limit, and we talked about this when it first came out, but the season bag limit is now going to be 5 deer, okay, and no more than 2 can be antlerless. So we're going to get out of the buck and doe mentality. We're going to talk about antlered and antlerless deer. So an antlered deer will be a deer that has an antler and it's more than 5 inches above the hairline, okay? Greater than that. So if it has an antler greater than 5 inches above the hairline, that's an antlered deer. If it's less than 5 inches, or it doesn't have antlers at all, that's considered an antlerless deer.
Okay.
So that could be a small buck or a doe. Okay, so just understanding the definitions of an antlered deer and an antlerless deer will go a long way as it pertains to the season bag limit. So 5. Now, beginning this hunting season, all hunters, now this is important to note here, all hunters, including those under 16 years of age, resident hunters 65 years old or older, military personnel on leave for 30 days or less, and those hunting on their homestead in the county of their residence must log their harvested deer and report the harvested deer. Now, with those things I just went over, those are the exemptions basically from license requirements. But you're still going to need to log your deer and report your deer when you harvest it. Okay. Now that's important to know, because say you're under 16, you don't need a license, you don't need a deer permit. One thing you're gonna need to do all this harvest reporting system, so logging and reporting your deer, is you're gonna need a customer ID number. Now to do that, you can go on that gooutdoorsflorida.com. Okay, and do that before the season begins, and you can create a customer account, and you can get that customer ID number, or if you have on your license, I brought my license today, I have the hard card. Okay, but on the paper one, it's the same thing, so you flip it over, and on this side, it'll say CID, customer ID number, that's your number, okay? And you're gonna need that to log and report your deer. Okay, that's a very important part, so just on the overview part of it. Okay, if you're exempt, like those ones we just talked about, go get a customer ID before the season starts.
Right.
Okay, now the 2 options that you have, 2 options, and a lot of states have been doing this for a while, as far as this harvesting, and I mean as far as logging and reporting your harvested animal. So the first option, which I think is going to be the most user friendly, but it might not be for everyone, is using the reporting app. We'll go into detail about that next time. Okay. Basically, you download an app onto your smartphone, and you can get it through Amazon, Google. It is user friendly if you're comfortable using a smartphone. Okay, and what you would do is the first thing you need to do is log your deer and then report it. And some of the things as far as logging it would be, I'm going to go over some of these things, and it's going to be a mouthful, but these are the things you're going to need. So you need your name, date of birth, your customer ID number, date of harvest, time of harvest, whether it's on public or private land, the county where the deer was harvested, the deer management unit. We're in Zone D, but we have the 2 management units, 1 and 2, whether you're north or south of I-10 here in the Northwest region. The wildlife management area if it was killed on one. Method of take, antlered or antlerless deer. We went over those definitions. The number of antler points, that's important because, if we're north of 10, that's a different requirement than south of 10. And then if it's an antlerless, it needs to be, you need to indicate if it's male or female. And then if it's on private land, you need to put the permit number. For instance, if you had an antlerless deer tag and you're on private property, you need to put that in there. So quite a bit of information to soak in, but those are things you're going to need to do when you report your deer, okay? And you can do that on the app or on this option 2, which is going to be this harvest log, okay? And I have one here. You can go online, go to myfwc.com, click on hunting, and you can have this. So I'm going to hold this up, and next time we'll probably get with Jeff and put this on the screen. But this is I would always have one of these just in case for some reason your phone goes dead, okay, or you're out of service. Then you can have one of these deer harvest logs, and it's very basic information to where if this fails, you can use an option 2, and you can log it this way. And this just has your date, number of antler points, and your county, and then going to have your customer ID number and your name. Okay.
Okay. I know that's a lot of stuff right there, but if you just break it down and just sort of simply go through it, you got 2 options. That means a lot. Biggest question I've gotten from the hunters now, what if I'm way down the swamp and I have my phone and can't get service and all that? Right. So that's why you need a backup system.
Exactly. And real quick on the backup system, on option 2, which would be this system here with the paper instead of using the app, you basically log this, you log your harvested deer before you move the animal.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so you log it here, and then you have 24 hours, okay, to report it. Okay. And there's a hotline, we'll put the number next time on there, so as long as you do this before you move the animal, you have your licenses that you need, okay, you're okay, and then you have 24 hours there's a deer harvest reporting hotline that you would call in. So it's a lot of information.
We're going to go over it again next time and break it down a little even more. Let's take our final break. We'll come back with our case of the month. All right, welcome back. Glad to have Travis here. We've got a lot of information for you. Let's take a look at our fishing game times brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at this morning 10:49 to 12:49, and this afternoon or late tonight 11:17 to 1:17 around midnight. Okay. A couple more quick points on that before we get to the case of the month.
Yes, sir. And the thing about this, y'all, is just we're going to take the show next time, definitely, and spend a lot of time on this. But I just want to clarify the 2 options that you have. Okay, so the first option would be the app on your smartphone. Okay, and then you can log and report on there, and we'll go over that more next time. But basically, you put all that information on that app, and then you submit it, send it. And you'll get a confirmation number, and then you'll have it on your outbox there on your scent to basically document that it went through. The second option, which we just talked about, is the harvesting report, the harvest log, the paper log, which is good to have this as a backup anyway. You put the log on here before you move the animal, and then within 24 hours you call the deer harvest reporting hotline. We'll have the number on here next time before season gets out, and then basically you give all the information on your deer to that hotline, and then you'll get a confirmation number from the operator there that you will then put on your log, and then that's done. Okay. So we'll really touch on it next time. I know it's a lot of information, and if you have any questions, please send them to Coach, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Okay. So people staying really busy out there. I know
you got a whole page full.
Here's some case of the months. Yeah. So I'll just give the brief rundown. So we still get some good fish cases made. Okay. I want to recognize Officer Britton Corbin over in the Destin area, Okaloosa County. Checked a boat coming in from Destin Pass, and they had undersized cobia, 2 undersized gag grouper, red snapper in the closed season. That was their fish, and then further inspection, do the boating safety inspection, the registration as well. They hadn't transferred their title within 30 days. They purchased the vessel back in May, so you're looking at going on 3 months. You only have 30 days to transfer that, and they never transferred it. So several violations there, and good fish case by Officer Corbin over there in Destin.
Wow.
Yep, really good. And then another one I want to recognize real quick, because we can kind of talk about this as well, is Officer Ken White and Charles Bradshaw, Walton County, over there at the Mitchell River off Chalk-Tahatchee. There was a boat, had all their floundering gear set up with their lights, and they went up and they actually had gigged bass and blue crab, which you can't spear, gig bass, and then you can't do it with blue crab either. And I've had a lot of questions on that, just people floundering, and sometimes we use that as an educational approach, but you can't gig the blue crabs. If you're floundering and you see blue crabs, you can net them, make sure they're not egg bearing, and then you could have your legal bag them with a fishing license, but you cannot gig crabs. So
and it's hard to deny that too when you got gig holes in them. So you can't. I didn't do that. I got them with a net. So
right.
you can't do that.
Yeah, it's usually very obvious. And this time of year, there's a lot of egg-bearing blue crabs, so you got to turn them up, make sure they don't have eggs. So anyways, good job by Ken White, Charles Bradshaw over in Walton County, and Officer Britton Corbin over in Okaloosa, doing really good work for us. And a lot of good cases being made. It was we're also see some hunting stuff getting made as well. I just wanted to get some more fish stuff before we get into the fall and start talking about all that good stuff. But a lot of stuff still going on.
Okay. All right, so we've got about a minute left and all to wrap things up now. We haven't got into the night hunting. Are we pretty good on some of that yet?
They're doing some of it.
Yeah, not bad.
We had some cases already, and then also where people trying to bait them up on the side of the highways and stuff like that. So it's definitely rolling. I know if you're out at night, you're seeing a lot of deer on one side of the road, and when that happens, you have certain people that want to do that. But it's cranking up, and we're just really excited now that we got duck season, dove season, deer season coming up, getting into hunting, and we just hope we get a little cooler weather because, man, it's been hot and dry, hasn't it?
And dove season this Saturday. There'll be a lot of folks out there.
Opening day, that's going to be it. Yeah.
Now we got morning and afternoon.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a discrepancy anymore with the first phase. Good to bring that up, and good luck, everyone. Hopefully you got some birds.
And the limit, limit's 12 or 14 now.
You have 15.
15. See, it changes. It used to be like that, but that's a lot of dove.
It is,
you get 4 or 5 people, that's 50 or 60. So I know you got your kin folks are all going to be up there blasting away. Probably.
Well, we're going to see if we got them. It's just so hit or miss, with these fronts.
That's true.
It sometimes pushes the locals.
We hadn't had that big front to get them in here yet.
Yeah, we have one little one, but not a good one yet. So.
Yeah. Well, it's right around the corner, folks. We've got to wrap it up. Thank you, Travis.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.
All right, thank you all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership and all that good feedback you give us. And y'all do something good today for your fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.